All right. So, hello everyone, and I welcome you all to this session. All right. So, hello everyone. I welcome you all to this live session today. So, today we are going to discuss about like Accenture's coding questions, and as we have got a lot of requests from you guys regarding the Accenture's interview preparation as well. So, yesterday also we have been live. So, before starting this session, just let me know in the chat box that I'm audible and the screen is visible as well, so that we can start this live session as soon as possible. So, thus, we have a live chat. So do let me know in the chat box so that we can get started with this session as soon as possible. And since in this entire session, like I said, we are going to solve some of the coding questions that most probably likely to be asked in the Accenture. So this will be basically a last minute preparation for you. And meanwhile, also we are going to solve some of the pseudocodes. So I want to tell you guys that. So sit with pen and paper so that I want you to solve some of the coding questions. And meanwhile, I'll help you in terms of what are the help that you need in order to solve these questions. So just quickly let me know, and I hope there are other people are joining as well. So whoever have joined right now, and so let me know in the chat box so that that my screen is visible. I hope you have the access to the chat box here. So in that we'll be in a good position to start this session. And also let us know in the chat box that if Accenture is hiring in your campus, so that we can bring more videos like this, and we can put the content that is basically helpful for you during. And if you need any kind of interview preparation help during for this Accenture, so we have given all our communication links on the description of this video. So make sure you watch all the links and check out this. And also, if you're new on this channel, make do subscribe to this so that basically you know what you will get notified with all the updates that we are coming up with respect to the different companies. So all right. So also, there's a poll that we have created on a live chat that whether Accenture is hiring on your campus or not, so that we can put more this kind of content for you. So do let me know in that live chat box. Okay, so basically in this session, what we are going to do is that I'm going to solve some of the coding questions for one for pseudocode and some coding round questions as well, which are like I'm going to give you the question you are going to solve with me for this pseudocode round. So these are some of the codes that we have, and I assume that you are with pen and paper and you're going to solve this along with me. So basically let's get started with that first. So here we have the first question of the day regarding this is for the pseudocode round. And let me tell you, like before even going with respect to any kind of a pseudocode round or something. So we have complete preparation resources for the Accenture. The link is actually given in the description. So here we have, so here let's say for the coding round, basically these are the programming languages which are preferred. So you will be given 45 minutes, and in that you have to, during this, you have to solve two questions. And the preferred programming languages, whether you can choose either C, C++, Java, Python, or .NET. So, and whichever programming language that you are comfortable with, that you can choose. And after that, so in this coding round, you will get two questions, and out of which you have to submit one complete output, and one partial output is also is good. So, and what are the rules that we have in terms of the coding is that, so there are going to be, as we know, two questions for 45 minutes, and we must start a code from the scratch. So you're not going to, in most of the companies, sometimes they give you in terms of basically all kind of things, and between that, so basically what you have to do is, so you're not going to get any of the function or something pre-written. So you have to write everything from the scratch. And later, the coding platform is divided into two. So you can read all the rest of the things that are given in the website. This website's link is given in the description. Also, in this one, so you have some of the questions as well. So let's get back to the screen. So there are some people who are trying to solve this. So first question that we have here regarding the pseudocode is there's a C code that is given to you along with some of the options. So basically, you have to solve this, and in terms of you have to tell in terms of right. So there's one answer with that got in the chat box, which by Nikhil. So he's saying 68. So which is actually a correct answer because why? Let's solve this one. So for example, here we have this, and here given the C code that we have. So it's basically we are defining a character which is capital D. All right. And then the value, the variable of A that we are defining as capital D. And after that, so we are going to print the percent D of A. So we want basically the value that we have that is in a string format, but that is expected the integer value of the string. So how is this integer value? It's basically as how we can print a string integer value of any string. So basically for all the characters, we have something called which is ASCII value, right? So for capital A to capital Z, the ASCII value starts between like 65 to like what are the two up to like English character, all the characters. For example, if you want to write that for capital D, so it will become like for A, it will be 65. Then you have like B, C, and D. Then here 66, 67, and it will be 68. So the correct answer is going to be 68 because we are going to, the ASCII character starts from 65 for the capital A. Then that's why we are going to ask, we require that for capital D, which will be 68. So we got one good correct answer for here. Now, I guess this was very pretty easy question. So it was not difficult anything to answer this. So let's move to the second question that we have here. So let's read the code from line number 1 and let's try to solve it. I hope you're with your pen and paper, and let's see who answers this question first. So, all right, so we have one more answer which says 69. So I hope that is not the correct answer. So I have explained why 68 is the correct answer. I hope you got that as well. So let's try this question as well. So here we have given some of the variables of basically we have variables of f, g, and there's a sum value which is defined as 0. Then it is using some if conditions, and we have a loop. So anyone can answer this. So what will be the answer here, or whether we can solve it? So basically, if you want to solve that, here we have all right, so let's start with here. I hope you got this two values, so you understood how this is working. So from here, so only it will enter to the for loop if this condition is true. So let's check if this condition is true here. So G value, which is 9, and 9 is basically greater than what we have, it's 6. So this condition is true. So that's why it will enter the next statement, which is for loop. And inside this for loop, so here what we have is like basically n value is going to be f, that is what value we have, it's 6. And if n is less than equal to g, that is 6 is less than 9, and then you are going to do increment of this number, and as you iterate one loop, so you will increment it by 1. And meanwhile, here we are going to add basically sum is initially that we have as 0. So you're going to add the first n value, which is 6. Then later on in the second iteration, you will add 7 plus 7 into that. Then in the third iteration, you will add 8. And in the one more iteration, the next value is going to be 9. Since this condition will not satisfy, so that will fail. So all you have to do is you have to add these 3 numbers, and whatever the answer is going to be there, so that is going to be your 21. All right, so basically that will be the correct answer here. So I hope, and here we have some of the answers which are given as 21. So you're correct. So I hope you have understood like how this question. So this might be sometimes this might seem easy, but sometimes you have to be careful about what exactly it has been asked in the question. So I hope you guys understood this part. So let's move on to the next question that we have here, and let's see how many people can get this answer correctly. All right. So meanwhile, like I hope you can just understood the code and you can take the screenshot. So meanwhile, if someone wants to practice with these kind of a questions, so like I shown you, this is the link that we have on this link. So basically, you can go and you can find about Accenture coding questions, and this link is also given in the uh, description of the video as well. And apart from that, let's say if you want to prepare more these kind of questions on Prepinsta Prime, so basically you will get a complete section of these questions or the topics under Accenture preparation. So on the companies list, you can check Accenture. In that, let's check the syllabus here, and you will see a dedicated thing regarding this coding. And in that, you'll have basic coding and other things. And also, there's one thing that we have. So here we have, all right, so basically this is the part of our, or also you can just go into the pseudocode. There's a dedicated section on the Prime. So you can just check this, and here you will get the link is given to you on the live chat. So you can visit and you can check all the contents that we have. So I'll tell you more about Prime much later in this part. So meanwhile, let's go back to our question here. So I hope you have solved this question, and how many of you can just tell me what will be the answer here? Or you want me to solve this question? So let me know that in the chat box so that we can go further and solve this question as well. And meanwhile, like I've shown you the Prime subscription here. So currently, as we are running a campaign where you can get this Prepinsta Prime subscription for at like 15% discount. So usually we give 10% discount. And since you have joined this live session, so we are going to give you 15% off. All you have to do is you have to use the coupon code as Accenture, and then it is available for you. All right. So now let's solve this one as well. So since it is also somewhere we have like easy question where sum is given as 0 and value which is 7. Here we are going to use the for loop. So since there might be some issues with respect to this for loop where we have seen that. So the value of I is going to start from 1, and it has mentioned that 2n. So if you're coming from Python background, and you might probably like read that in terms of like range function, right? So basically you have like a range function, and in range function, any parameter that we put, that we read it as -1, right? So always in a range function, whatever the parameter that you put as an end, we read that as a -1. So here that you do not have to confuse with respect to that, because let's say in a range function, you give 1 to n, then in that case, you will read this as the Python will read n-1 length only. But since there is no specific mention regarding the programming language, so we are going to consider the value from 1 to 7. And on the top of that, you have to iterate the value. So what exactly you're going to iterate for 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And in this iteration, each iteration, we are going to perform the addition here with respect to the sum value. So initially, sum is as defined as 0, and plus you're going to perform, which is like I into I. So the first value is 1. So you're going to perform is like 1 into 1. And whatever the answer that will be, you will add that with respect to 0. So after the first iteration, your answer is going to be 1. And this is the first iteration that we are done. And likewise, you have to perform all this rest of the iterations. So by the time when you calculate this, like 7 into 7, and plus there will be some value that you have got till now by the iteration of 6. At what number that we have is as a 140, and most of you have answered it correctly, so that's good. So I hope it was helpful for you. So there's only confusion with respect to this question is that most of the people think that this given this for loop I equal to 1 to n, they might consider that n minus 1 like only up to 6. In that scenario, your answer is going to be different. So that will be wrong, I would say. Okay, so now let's go back to one more question here we have. So let's see who can answer this. So I hope. Okay, so here we have, so what we have here, so I have one. So we have one doubt from Naruto. So basically what you can do is you can reach out to our technical support. So on the channel, on the description, you will get the links. So your mentor will basically help you in terms of what exactly you can expect in the skill or technical assessment. And also yesterday also we have covered one more Accenture live. In that the mentor has explained everything in terms of what exactly can be expected in each of the rounds. So this is basically we are here discussing in terms of the coding and pseudocode. So if you need any further help, so you can join our WhatsApp group or you can DM us on any of the social media channels. The dedicated mentors are there for you to help you. Just let them know what's the current situation that you are facing so that they will help you surely. And one more question, that I have cleared all the rounds of Accenture campus placement. Only the interview is left. All thanks. All right. Thank you. That's a good news actually. So thanks for sharing with us. And do let us know how your interview round also goes. So that will be a good news. All right. So here, anyone solve this question? So do let me know what will be the answer. Here we have got one answer. So, and that seems correct. So if someone can explain why the given answer is correct, so that will be also good. And if people who are struggling in terms of what how this question can be solved. So like I said, the already links are given for all kind of practice questions or the quizzes. So you can just go visit, you can practice more this kind of question. And also let us know in your campus if currently Accenture is still hiring, so that basically we can, put more these kind of videos, or let us know what round you have. Like we got some of the messages from the students saying that they have cleared some rounds and someone is doing that. So also if there is someone who is in the pipeline of the interview, so do let us know that as well. All right. So let's solve this question here. So here we have the value of x as a 7 and then y as 2 and z as 6. And all we have to perform this operation entirely, which is basically bitwise AND operator and bitwise OR operator between the first operation that we do on x and y. And later on, whatever the operation, both the operation when you perform, so we are going to print the value of a. So now if you remember, bitwise operation is performed on the binary numbers. And since the numbers that I've given in the input are decimal, so first you have to convert this binary into, this decimal numbers into the binary numbers. And then you have to perform the gate operation. So bitwise AND and bitwise OR operators. So for that, first you need to convert this 7 into binary, this 2 into binary as well. So I know you know the like there's a shortcut that I always follow in terms of converting any decimal numbers into the binary, which are like very less than 10 or 20 or something in that range. So basically what you can do is you can just write 1, 2, and then we have 4, 8, and 16, and this goes on. And this is a very shortcut that you can follow. Basically, you do not have to use the formula like 10 raised to the power 2 or something. So basically here, what is the value that we have? Most closest to value which we have is 4 plus 2 plus 1 will be the 7. So the binary value for 7 is going to be this. Similarly, for 2, it's going to be basically 0, 0, 1, 0. I hope this is visible to you. So this is what we have. And on these two values, we are going to perform bitwise AND operation. And while performing the bitwise on and operation, whenever the two values are true, then only it will evaluate as true. Otherwise, it will evaluate as false. So that's why. So here we have 1 and 0 will become 0. 1 and 1 will become 1. So it will be 0 and 0. So the bitwise AND operation, after performing the first bitwise AND operation between 7 and 2, the answer is going to be this. And once you get this answer, on this, you have to perform bitwise OR operator with the value of Z. So what is the value of Z that we have? It's 6. And we have to perform the bitwise OR operator here. All right. So for that, first we need to convert this into the binary. So that will become your 1, 1 and 0, 0, which will be 6. Then once you perform this, this will become 0. This will become 1. And then we have anything that is while we are performing the bitwise OR operator, if any condition is true, then it will evaluate as true. So this also will become 1 and 0, which is nothing but the same value that we have as a 6. So once you convert this binary number back into the decimal, so you will get that 6. So that's why the correct answer here is going to be 6. And one student that all right. So I can see a couple of you have answered it correctly, and also we can see the explanation as well. That is good. All right, so I hope this was easy to understand, and let's move to another question. All right, so basically this is the last question that we have for basically a pseudocode. So I'm not going to solve this. You are going to tell me what will be the output, and if you can explain, that would be really great. And after that, we are going to solve this question for the coding. And also, while for the coding part, I'm going to explain you regarding like how to solve this. I'm going to give you a roadmap, or I'm going to break it down into a smaller part, and you're going to tell me what approach that you would use. And let's say in case if you can solve with the correct code during this live session, so you might get a Prepinsta Prime subscription for free as well. So remember that you have to answer as well for this. So now before going to the code part, so if you want to take the screenshot here, you can take it and you can start solving on your own. Or meanwhile, you can just answer this question first, and then we will move to the coding part. All right, so anyone can tell me what will be the answer here for this last pseudocode question that we have, and then we will move on the coding question. All right, so there are some people who are asking in terms of where to prepare for this kind of a pseudocode question. So here we have on prepinsta.com. So you can visit here, and on this, as you can see, we have a prepare tab, and inside that, so you can just on all platform, you can go on Accenture from all companies. So make sure you select Accenture. Once you select the Accenture, here you will get on this page all the information that you need regarding the Accenture. So regarding like what are the different rounds that we have. For one of the student who was asking regarding the technical assessment. So here you can see the cognitive assessment that we have. For technical assessment, what are the questions that are being asked, how much time that you have. And also if you scroll down here, you will get a chance to solve some of the quizzes, right? So for the practice. Also, then here we have coding, then we have communication assessment. So we are going to live tomorrow as well for this communication assessment round. So if someone is preparing for this, so you can join the live tomorrow at same time, which is around 7 in the evening. And for the coding questions, if you want to practice more kind of a coding questions, you will find here. And let me tell you for the people who do not know about Prepinsta Prime. So Prepinsta Prime is basically a 200 plus courses in one single subscription. So where you'll get access to most popular courses like data science, data analytics, then AI, AWS cloud engineering. There is so many courses, like you can just hover upon and you can see what are the different courses that are available. Also, we have introduced the complete full stack course here as well, which is completely live now. And you will get a chance to choose your favorite programming language in terms of learning, since for any company, if you're preparing, you have to be good at any one of the programming language. And since we are solving for the Accenture, so they might give you a chance to solve it again either in C, C++, Java, or Python. So I would recommend you to start in terms of with respect to any one of the programming language. And once you do that, so in order to solve the coding questions for the Accenture, you need to complete our basic coding and intermediate coding first. And later on, you can go with respect to our data structures. And let's say if you're preparing for, let's say if you're preparing in terms of for product-based companies, then I would recommend you to complete our competitive coding because it is must for all the product-based companies so that you will be in a good position to solve any kind of a questions or coding questions that have been asked in that company. After that, as you know, aptitude is the first round that you have to clear for any company or any interview. So we have covered all the aptitude related topics here. And if you want to practice more in terms of the track-based companies, like you can follow for this for all the service-based companies like TCS, Cognizant, and Accenture. Then let's say if you want to prepare more about the product-based companies, you can select the track for the product-based companies. Or let's say if you want to focus more on a individual company-specific preparation, for example, right now for the Accenture, you can check the syllabus for the Accenture, and you can just go there. You will find all the dedicated content for the Accenture itself. So this is what we have in terms of you can just visit the page. We have given the link in the description, so that will help you understand what exactly all these things are covering and how it is going to be helpful for you as well. All right. So I hope you have solved this question. So just do let me know if what will be the answer here, or we will move to our coding questions. All right. So anyone, so do let me know in the chat box what will be the answer. And since there's one more thing that I forgot to tell you, that currently we are running, like if you want to get this Prime subscription at lowest cost as possible, so we are giving you 15% off right now at this moment. So you have to use the coupon code as Accenture so that you will get it. All right. So we have one answer here, which is correct. So thanks. And let's solve this quickly, and then we will move to the coding question. All right, so here we have a function, so which is passing some integer value, and what will the output if the I value is going to be 140. So basically, if you pass here the value with 140, what will be the output? And again, here, let's say what is the first condition that we have if I mod 2 not equal to 0. So what exactly I mod 2 is checking is that whether the given value or the provided value, is it an even number or not? So whenever you say I mod 2 equal to 0, that means it will check for if given number is even, and then it will return true. But as we can see in the condition, it says not equal to 0. So that's why this for the value of 140, which is basically an even number, as we know. So here this condition is going to be false. So it will not return the value of I, which is 140. Right. So this if condition is completely going to be failed, and it will jump the code to the else part. In the else part, we have return statement. In that this function, we are calling the same function, this one. But this time we are passing the value of I as a 1. Right. So once we feed the same function with respect to the value of 1, and in that condition, let's check for the value of 1. What will this condition return? So I mod 1 is not equal to 0, which will be true. Then it will return the value of I, which is 1. So that's why your output here will be 1. So we have one question answer, which is correct. So I hope this was very, very easy in terms of understanding if you have already prepared or you have gone through some of the questions. So now it's time to go to one of the coding questions that we are going to take this on this session. So here's the question, and also I'll explain you in terms of what exactly this question, and I'll tell you in terms of what is the input or example that we have. So based on that, I want you to try it out and explain in the chat box whether how to solve this kind of question, what is the approach that you would follow. So I would tell you to take a screenshot of this or keep this question. So I'm not going to waste time on reading the question from the beginning. So basically what for the guess. So here we have given an array, definition of array, and you have to complete this code so that the function accepts an integer array of size n and an integer of k. So we have to implement the function to return the sub array of length k whose sum of elements is least. All right, so and what is a subarray? There's a node that we have. So a subarray of an array is a consecutive sequence of 0 or more values taken out of that array. All right, so you can't pick the values from the list randomly. So it has to be a consecutive sequence of all these values. All right. And in terms of Python, if the array is empty, or we can say none, or the value of n is less than k, so it should return none or null. Or in case of multiple such subarrays, return subarray whose first element is at the smallest index. So these are the nodes that you need to know. So I hope you understood the question what we have. So let me explain you in terms of the example, and then let me know how you would approach this question. All right. So here basically we have given an array of elements. So how many elements that we have? 7 elements that we have, and which makes, and the k value is 3. So given this array, you have to select the subsequent or sub array which are like consecutive, so that whenever you perform the summation of these sub array values, that should be minimum. For example, like for this array, the value is k. So we have to select the 3 elements. So for the first iteration, here it's going to be 3, 2, and 1. And you have to perform the sum of these values. So what will be the sum of these values? Which is going to be 6. This is the first iteration that we have. On the second iteration, you're going to choose 2, 1, minus 4. So we have 2, 1, minus 4. And here, what is the summation that we have, which is minus 1. All right. And in the third iteration, so you will select as 1, minus 4, and 6. I hope you understood, right? So how we are going to select this sub array. So this is what is expected. So do let me know if it is helpful for you to understand this kind of explanation, or maybe I can further simplify this explanation. So just let me know in the chat box if it is understood. All right. So now in this, we have this like what value that we would have here is like, here we'll have 3. And after that, we are going to pick the sub array, which is minus 3, minus 4, 6, and 3. So which will be your 5. Then we have 6, 3, 1. The summation is going to be 10. After that, you can't pick this 3 and 1. So these are the 2 elements which are left. But since the length of, or the number of arrays that you have to pick for the sub array is 3, and the remaining values are this 3 and 1, so which is not satisfying the condition that is expected. So you can just iterate over this only. So your iteration stops here. So you have to find for what is the given length of the array, and given the length of the array, what will be the value of k, so that how many iterations you can make. So once you find that, you have to find whether the sum value is less. So these are all the values, these are all the outputs that we got after performing the summation. So this is minus 1. And for which sub array we found this minus value? For this array. And that will be your output. So I hope this is helpful for you. So this kind of question you can expect in terms of the Accenture. So, and these are like, if you want to practice, or like, I have one more example for you as well. So basically, you can note down this example. So where we have given an array, based on that array, here instead of that, k value, which we have is 2. So here we are going to select 2 values. And what will be the output, so that what are the values of that array where the summation is going to be less. So meanwhile, so you note down this question. So meanwhile, you note down this. So I will tell you in terms of where to practice this kind of a questions. So basically, if you open up our Prime page, here under the coding sections, you will find all kind of a questions like this under the basic coding and intermediate coding. All right. So once you go through these kind of a intermediate coding level questions from the platform, which will give you, since I'm just telling you for this question, I'm explaining you the logic, how to solve it. Later on, you have to convert that into a code. Either you can select the programming language, which is preferable for you. So either you can go with Python, C++, Java, or anything. So like I've shown you, like what are the different programming languages that are supported in the Accenture on this page. All right, so these are the programming language that are supported. And from here, basically, you can find this intermediate coding section. Under that, as you can see, there are some of the number related questions, and also in the advanced numbers, then the recursion, then we have array. So I guess you will find some of the questions like this only. So in this recursion also, you will see, and we have like string related. So you can expect the questions which are covered in this part of a course. So as you can see, we have one question which is related to array. I guess there's somewhere it has covered. And once you go through these kind of a questions, so it will be easier for you to solve these questions. And as you know, with respect to this in the coding round, you will be given two questions. Out of these two questions, you have to solve one with complete answer, and one partially is acceptable, and for that you have only 45 minutes. So it might seem a lot, but once you solve this kind of question, it takes a lot of time if you're not well versed with the programmatical concepts, or if you're not really well versed with, if you're, most of the time what happens is like students go in terms of very confidence that they know the thing, but due to lack of practice, it may end up taking a lot of time for even for the simple problems as well. So that's why uh, here I would recommend you to go through the platform, check all these questions that are given here, and do practice, spend a lot of time on learning. So you will find all kind of things in a very interactive way, so that it will be helpful for you to learn. And all right, so anyone can tell me what will be the output here. So even I've given you the output as well. So how you can do that. All right, so here, let's go to some live chat. If you have any kind of a queries or doubt that you want to ask, so I'm here to help you with respect to any kind of preparation that you are doing. So make sure you drop your query in the live chat. And here we have, I want to buy Prime course. All right, so basically, the link is given in the description. And since, like I said, you were part of this live, so we have a special coupon for you. So make sure you use coupon code Accenture. So basically on the website, you might see a basic of 10% discount. So since you are part of this live, we are going to give you 5% extra discount. So overall, you will get 15% of discount on using the coupon code. So make sure you do that. And the link is given in the description as well. Or if you need any further help with respect to that, the phone number is given to you. You can talk to one of our mentors. He will guide you in terms of how to prepare and how the subscription is going to help, so that you will make a better decision out of that. All right, so here we have when will Accenture off-campus start? So as of now, we do not have any of the information, but since we are sharing all the off-campus related details and updates of the different company on our Instagram channel. So for example, let's say if you are from the batch of 2023, 24, or 25, and do follow the respective batch-wise Instagram channels, and as well as join our Discord channels, because what happens, so whatever the hiring related that we are sharing on these social media channels are very specific to the batch. For example, if you are from the 2024 batch and if you join the WhatsApp group of 2024, or and you follow us on Instagram on 2024, so that you will get that update which is relevant to you. So you do not have to worry about anything. All you have to just relax and all the updates and stay connected to us on their social media channels, so that you will get all the updates. All right, so anyone can help me in terms of solving this question. So as you know, what is the procedure that we have here? So since K, we have the value of 2. So here you're going to iterate on this list. First, you will pick 25 and 11. In the second iteration, you will pick 11 and 12. In the third iteration, you will pick 12 and 21. In the fourth iteration, you will pick 21 and 25. And then you will pick 25 and 11. So for each of this iteration, you're going to write the summation value here, right? So what will be the summation here? And out of that, you're going to compare where is the addition of these numbers is low. And since you build, as we can see, this 11 and 12 is most probably is going to have a less number, because as the consecutive the subarrays that we are going to see are very, like, most probably are, we have one more thing that we have is like 25 and 11. So the one number is basically more than 20, and since you are very close, so here we are going to get, and that's the output. But this is good, like this kind of output that you can make while these questions are asked in the pseudocode or something. So you can just directly run through your pen. But this is a coding question. You have to write code for this. Can someone tell me in the chat box like how you would solve this question, or we can move with respect to the coding part here? So, all right. So let me go to the VS Code. So let me just tell me in the chat box if this is visible for you, and the text for the code is also clearly readable, or maybe I can zoom a little bit for you to understand it well. And then I'll explain you. So this is the code that I'm telling you in terms of Python. And if you are someone who follows C++ or Java, you can pick that as well. You can understand the logic, and you can basically convert this code into that programming language as well. Or most probably you can take a screenshot of this and later write this code in other programming language. So we are going to start with this subarray. This is a function. And since we have seen the node that we have to check if the array is none, or if the length of array is less than k, it should return none value, right? So let's say for the given example here, I've made it simple, even I have not taken any input. So let's say if the array is less than this 3, you're not going to select that sub array, right? So in that condition, it should return none. We are going to find the value sum. So that's why we have prepared one, we have taken one variable, which is minimum sum. Initially, I have given it as float value, which is infinite. We are going to update this value. And to find the values of the subarray, we have defined one empty list so that we will append the value in that. All right, so given this range, given this array, on this, we are going to perform. So we have to first calculate what will be the length of this array. And then, for example, this is the 7 that we have. For example, here length of array is 7 minus, since this is a Python, like I said in the one of the pseudocode question as well. So whenever you put that in a range function, it's going to take it in terms of, like, we are going to add the range k plus 1. What is the value of k, which is like 3? So 4. So 7 minus 4 is going to be 3. So this range function is going to iterate for 0, 1, 2 times. And after that, we are going to pick the sub array. From the sub array, we are going to pick, for example, here we have this indexing, the array of I. So we are going to write it here. The I value is going to be 0. And 2, what we have is I plus k, which is initially I is 0, and k is given as 3. So this will become 3. So 0 to 3. So that means it will read from 0 to 2, of course. So it is slicing. The second end of the part is going to be -1 always. So that's why I hope that you guys understand this part. So it's going to pick for the first iteration 3, 2, 1. And once we pick, so this will be our sub array. And we are going to perform the sum. So in Python, we have the sum method, and of this sub array. So basically it will perform 3, 2, 1. And what is the addition that we have here? It's going to be 6. And now this is the first value that we have. So once you perform the summation of this array, so we are going to see if this current sum. So what is the current sum that we have? It's 6. If it is less than minimum sum. So initially the minimum sum, which is infinite. So of course it is going to be minimum. So in this case, for example, let me tell you, if you start this minimum sum with the value of 0. So most probably what we do is that we always define the variable as 0 most of the time. But since with this logic, for example, let's say if you define the minimum sum value as 0, then this case, it would have been false, right? So that's why we have kept the minimum sum value, which is a very higher end, which is positive infinity. So anything which is less than positive infinity, so that we can add that condition. So that's the reason why adding this infinity as this. So you can use the same concept in terms of Java and C++ as well, and you can make the changes there as well. So once we got that, we will add the 6 and we will update this value of minimum sum, and we will basically update this minimum sub array as well. So these two variables will get updated. In the second iteration, we are going to pick the elements 2, 1 and -4. The output of this is going to be basically -1. And for the -1, we will compare that with respect to the 6. So for this condition, this current sum, so this has become our current sum, and this is our minimum sum. So now this current sum is less than minimum sum. So we will update this value. So sub array will also get updated with this. And this will become our new array of the sub array. And now you keep on iterating on all the lists, and you try to find if there is any value which will be less than this, then only you will update the sub array, or it will not. So that way it will just keep continue. And as we have solved this with pen and paper, we got this answer this. So the expected answer is going to be same as well. So let's run this code. So I'll run this code for you. So here we'll run this, and let's see what is the output that we have. So here we have 2, 1 and -4. All right. So basically you can do the same for this as well. So you can use this example, and for this example, you can update the variables that I've given in the code. You can update that. Either you can put that with respect to the user input. You can put that with respect to the direct value. So all you have to do is just going to check whether the logic that I have explained to you is going to be correct or not. And your task here is to, let's say if you're coming from C++ or Java background, take a screenshot of this code and convert that into Java or C++ or whichever the code that you're comfortable with. So these kind of a question that will be expected in the Accenture coding interview. So if you find this difficult, so I would recommend you to go through our previous coding questions that have been solved on the platform. So from this, you can go on coding. You will find Accenture coding here. You will find all the coding related questions here. So once you solve this kind of question, you will be in a good position. And also on the platform, you will find all the answers in the different programming language as well. All right. So I hope this was helpful for you. And if you're looking for to get the Prime, so like I told you, so there's a Accenture offer is going on. So use the coupon code Accenture to get more additional benefits on this your purchase. So on the closing note, what I want to tell you is that so there are more than 30 plus companies are hiring this placement season. So if you want to take any kind of a update, so make sure you follow us on our channels. Like, let me just turn that. All right. So on Instagram, WhatsApp, Discord, LinkedIn, and Telegram. So meanwhile, whenever you're following on this channel, make sure you follow respect to the badge that you have. All the links are given in the description. So that's it. So if you want any kind of a help, so you can drop that in a live chat. And I would thanks for joining today. So I hope you have learned something new out of the channel. So if you have anything, so post that. You can let us know that in the comment. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe here. And if you need any kind of a help, we have already kept all our social media handle channels on the Discord. So make sure you reach out to us there. All right, guys. So thank you for joining.